Good evening, everyone. Let me know if you can hear me, and if so, we can start. Also, let me know how you hear the game over my voice. That's pretty important as well. We don't want it to overshadow me. All looks good. Okay. Well, let's go then. This time hopefully I'm not gonna be forgetting to switch the game. So just give me a quick second so I can select my game executable. And you should also be able to see the screen now behind me, which is the latest version of Overrider, which isn't really different than what it was in the demo, at least in terms of menu. But everything else beneath is quite different, and so this is what the stream is going to be about. I'm just going to go over what things we changed, what feedback we took, and what are the plans for the following months, weeks, years. I don't know. It really depends how development goes and what the feedback is so far. So okay, let's start now. With this closed playtests, I would suggest, if you are part of the closed playtest that's currently going on right now on Discord, maybe watch the video later. So this is a stream, but it's going to be recorded. So maybe watch the video afterwards, because I wouldn't like to contaminate the tests. Otherwise, you can probably just mute it and just watch the gameplay. That's okay as well. But yeah, that's one thing I wanted to cover just before we start. And so let's just go. I'm going to reset my data and hit play. And so right away we see the first change in the game. Now those who played the demo on Steam Next Fest would know that the game just starts. Now we have two options here. One is the circuit breaker, which is the novice option. It shoots targets at a distance, and one is the homing attack, which is the expert version. And it lets you launch yourself at the targets. So with this one you're the weapon, with this one you have a weapon. Now I will go with the first one so that we can kind of emulate the first gameplay experience of a newcomer, and then as we play we're gonna switch to something else. It's going to be really embarrassing if the game just crashes on my first travel screen. And it appears that this is probably the case. So I'm just going to, as always, this is just like, it becomes like a custom now. Just every time we stream the game, the first time we play the game on stream, it just crashes. So let's do another run and see if this time we have more luck. Okay, we're in. Yeah, it's always the first time. I don't know. Okay, so in terms of dialogues and story, nothing has changed a lot. So I'm gonna skip this. And now the first big change that you're probably not seeing is the tutorial. Right here on the left side of the screen. I'm probably covering it actually, now that I think of it. Let me just try and see if I can, you know, remove my camera for a second so you can see it. Or maybe just, you know, move my camera down. Maybe this would be the better option. So let's just move these two, maybe in the upper left corner, so that you can see the contents of the game. Yeah, I think this is better. So the first thing we see is this new tutorial. Now the tutorial in the new version is situational. It's not linear like it was, so it's going to try its best to detect what situation you are in and try to give you the best hint it can at any given moment. For now we have the blink, and which is something also new. So the blink mechanic is an escape mechanic. You can see it charging in the bottom right of the screen. Basically it lets us dash, and during this mechanic, during this move, we go through things. Now, we don't go through trees, rocks, walls, etc., but we go through enemies, which could be very helpful later on in the game. Now, of course, we got the rotor shift. We haven't changed a lot in terms of rotor shifting, it's just plain old rotor shift, but we have changed a lot in how momentum is calculated and preserved. So, previously you had to work really hard to move fast. Now it's just a matter of, you know, pressing rotor shift once, going downhill, and then the momentum is a lot better preserved. Okay, so any minute now I'm expecting the tutorial to change, yeah, to combat, because we're now in combat. And so it's just going to tell me to shoot the enemies, but also that crushing into enemies at high speed will inflict significant damage. So doing something like this will definitely damage them, otherwise I can shoot at the enemies. Okay. There's some names you can remove from OBS. Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to remove any amount of names. Yeah, I think we don't need the whatchamacallit. I think this one. Let's just pop it off. Yeah. Okay, so where was I? Yeah, I was talking about the tutorial, which is now situational, and hopefully this is going to give a little bit better introduction to the game. Now there are some obvious issues with the game, like in terms of bugs. First one is some things that just go underground, and if you're not careful enough you might even clip through the ground at some key moments. But in general, the physics should be somewhat stable. The entire state of the rest of the game, I don't know, probably not as stable as I wanted it to be. So this is another change that we've introduced. This is the boost container. So now we have different kind of stats. These stats, you were able to upgrade them in the workshops in the demo and the previous versions. So you go into a workshop and you pick which stat to upgrade, like speed, health, etc. Now we kind of left it more randomized, and yeah, you have these things which contain a random stat, which can give you a certain amount of upgrade. But if you go to the workbenches, then the workbench gives you a little bit more choice in terms of what you can upgrade and what you can work towards. So let's complete the rotor shift tutorial. It's just basically it wants me to just hold shift while going downhill, and now it's going to try to explain to me about trick combos, but it doesn't know that I already know that. And so we're gonna make some trick combos. Just a second, because I butchered it. Okay, so let's talk about the tricks. The trick system now is also different. We added a little bit more freedom to it, and we also try to make it a little bit more useful, but at the same time not punishing if you don't use it. So what's new with the tricks? First of all, the tricks are directional, so if you jump, you hold the trick button, you can do this trick over and over again. Then you can do another trick going with another direction. I can do front flips. So basically tricks are on demand. Previously they were randomized, which wasn't really well accepted by some people. They were a bit shallow. They're not super deep right now. They're just like 4 directions. But what's interesting is that if you keep doing tricks in the same direction, it's just going to repeat them. But if you do different combos, it's just going to create new tricks. So if I just keep doing different moves, it's just, you can see that I do different tricks. Can you use grapple hook on enemies? Yes, you can definitely use grapple hook on enemies, given that you have the grapple hook. Right now I have nothing. Basically this is my loadout and it's empty. I only have some max health upgrades that you already saw how we acquire. Now there's another change that we've made, and this is the challenges. Now previously there were challenges that you engage with and they bring out a menu. Then I'm just gonna pause the game because there's another change I have to talk about later. But basically you would interact with a menu. The menu says, you know, do you want to do this or that? And then you enter the challenge. Now we try to do the challenges in a bit more implicit way, where you interact with a challenge by just interacting regularly with the world. Now the challenge is there to kind of let you know that there's an objective, there is an implicit objective so far. There is also an explicit one above the challenge where it says neutralize guardians, and you can see these two cables going here and here. So probably if I do something, I can remove these barriers and use the useful stuff inside. Before that, I'm just gonna go and climb this building and get this boost over here, because it's definitely going to come in handy. And this is an attack damage boost, which is great for me. Now if I look around, I can see that there is this waypoint here, and this is the waypoint. If I go to that waypoint, there's an enemy. It has this antenna which blinks, and this is an indicator that this challenge requires me to kill this enemy. So I'm just gonna go and kill it, and now we get this cutscene showing us that the cables have lost their power, and we can probably go and explore inside the buildings. And tutorials is broken. At least there isn't any like text on screen, so we can see through it. Okay, so these are the same. These are the teleporter protocols or transcoding protocols. Basically, you need to collect them in order to travel. And yeah, this is the new workbench or workshop. So yeah, we changed the model, but we also changed how it behaves. If you interact with it, you get a list of things. You have 3 slots that offer you different gadgets or improvements, and there's another 3 slots which are locked. Now, as the game goes, there is an ability that you can unlock, which is a permanent ability. It will basically unlock these for you, but for now we can choose only between the 3. So I can choose between movement speed, prop burst, which is basically a double jump, and charge compression. I will probably choose the prop burst, which gives me more control in air. I can now do a double jump, which is great. And now that I have the transcoding protocol, I can actually travel to the end. Now here's the end. This is the end teleporter. I just discovered it. Unfortunately, because the tutorial is indeed broken, as Danny mentioned in the chat, right now the objective might be broken, it's not showing, but keep in mind we are working on the game actively, so throughout the entire playtest we will be patching the game. So if you encounter a game-breaking bug or something that's stopping you from playing or enjoying the game, maybe it's worth checking in the Discord server to see if we aren't already addressing it, or yeah, if we don't have any plans for it. So here we are at the end goal of the game where we need to travel. There's another change here waiting for me to explain. Now here in the upper right corner of the screen, you can see that there's an Onslaught level progress bar, and as the game goes, the progress bar also fills, and the level will go to level 3, level 4, etc. Now the higher the level is, the higher the difficulty becomes. New robots are coming, more robots are coming, tougher enemies all over the place. So what you want to do is manage your time on each node. So right now I can go ahead and just explore, try to make the most out of my stay here in this node, and try to see if I can get something useful out of it, maybe more upgrades, but this is going to haunt me in the Onslaught level later if I spend too much time. But now I'm seeing a interesting mark here that I'm going to check out, and it's probably going to be something useful because I'm seeing it from afar. Okay, so here we can see already a tougher enemy, and this is Terragen. Terragen is basically the fuel for permanent upgrades. You use Terragen to unlock things in the game later, which will help you progress through the game easily. Now let's go here, get some more upgrades, and then I'm going to be back at the exit point to trigger the teleporter. Okay. It's cool seeing the systems in action. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool to see it all come together. We've been changing everything so much. So I've seen so many versions of this game already. Okay, so let's go and travel, but of course, before we can travel, there's a boss battle, which is just buffed enemies, and I have to deal with them somehow, so let's just start. Oh yeah, I forgot to say that doing tricks charges your board, so when I have some tricks done, I do more damage. There we go. For a second I thought this door is not gonna open. My heart stopped. Okay, the tricks give you gun blast special ability. Yeah. So that's what I was saying is basically if you charge your board, you can see it light up like this. So if I do a couple of trick combos, it's just going to change its light color. And now because my board is charged, I can do more damage when I shoot at enemies. And this applies for other things as well. Now let's see. Now I have attack damage, movement speed, or precision lens, which increases my chance of critical hit, and I'm probably going to get the precision lens so I can do more criticals. The gun shoots very frequently, so the chance to strike a critical hit is a little bit bigger. Okay, so let's go ahead and travel because I don't have enough Theragen. So these are the permanent upgrades I've been talking about. You've probably already seen it if you've played the demo. Are the upgrades permanent or is it more like a roguelike? It's more like a roguelike, but there are permanent upgrades. So for example, if you upgrade your speed, you're gonna lose it when you die. If you upgrade some gadgets, you're also gonna lose them. But if you upgrade something with Theragen, then you're gonna keep it in between deaths. Okay. So let's do another run. Also, keep in mind that the music is broken in this game. We are working to fix it, still don't know what the cause is. There's just a problem with the music, sometimes it stops and it's very silent. So it's something that's being worked on. Now, I also want to talk about the new health system that we've introduced. It's an experimental one. The new health system revolves around passive health regeneration, and it's basically if you get hurt, you're going to regenerate passively, but only if you have overhealed. Now, what I mean by overheal is if you take a look at the health bar at the bottom left, you'll see that there's a green bar and then there's a smaller, lighter green bar. Now, the lighter green bar is overhealing. When I collect healing vials, if my health is full, I will contribute to this bar. Now, if I take damage, like I did so, now this bar is going to try to kind of charge my main health bar. So this is the system. If you run out of overheal, then your health will not regenerate. Okay, I expected this one to die, but probably the Onslaught level is a little bit higher than what it needs to be, because I took too much time on the previous zone. Also, by the way, for everyone who tried the first playtest version yesterday, there were a couple of issues with the game, like for example, the gun sometimes wasn't targeting things. I think we already fixed this issue. We also fixed a couple of game-breaking bugs, which didn't allow you to continue because some of the challenges were a little bit broken. So if you have played this version already, it's worth updating. These issues should be gone now. Now let's charge the board. So what I need to do, of course I need to collect another transcoding protocol. So let's go and check it out. I'm almost certain I'm gonna find it here. Yep, I can see the big transcoding protocol marker. So let's go and check it out. Okay, so there's a race here. Let's see what else is there. Bunch of enemies. Okay, let's get this one. Oh yeah, we also kind of changed some of the visual language. Like for example, here this machine now has a cable that goes over there, and there's like other machinery that triggers this door. So we kind of made it look a little bit more like a door, although it doesn't still go a long way to making it clearer. But hopefully we're trying to do our best to introduce small changes here and there to improve the visual language and inform the player of what needs to be done without, you know, just pulling out a big pop-up with a marker and telling them, you know, go here, do this. So we're hoping that players would learn by themselves as they play the game. But this is why we do the playtest. We want to figure out to what extent this is true and what we need to do to make it clearer for everybody. No time for that right now, unfortunately. Just gotta power through. That was close. So as you can see already, I don't have a lot of speed upgrades applied right now, but I can already move a lot faster because I don't lose so much momentum. So we just got the transcoding protocol. Let's see what we got there. Okay, so these are the new item containers. They're called mod containers, and I can just open it and purchase what's inside. It's of course randomized. Also, my tutorial is not broken. It just didn't get to the point where it was supposed to tell me about healing, so it stayed on screen. It's something we need to work on. We need to make it so it doesn't mess with the objective system, the tutorial. So right now my objective is to find a healing file so I can complete the tutorial and hopefully move on with my life in this game. But let's just check the comments real quick. Maybe not here. So I like the regen health. It's easier now, of course. There should be higher difficulties where you die from 2-3 consecutive hits. Yep, I agree. There should be a hardcore mode where you get bombed all over. Do tricks also count as a mid-air dodge? Not yet. We have ideas for the tricks. We want to bind them with certain abilities. So for example, there will be abilities where you can deflect bullets while doing tricks, or maybe other abilities where you can actually dodge things with the trick, so you go through enemies or through projectiles, something like that. We're still working on, you know, all the list of comprehensive abilities. We are trying to make, so our design strategy in terms of abilities is synergies. So some items that you collect have different kinds of synergies, so they work together well, and you can combine them for new and amplified effects. So I was supposed to find some healing, but I didn't find anything. So now let's just go and try to exit the game. Maybe just gonna go over there and see if there's something interesting there. Oh, there's a health vial. Maybe I can get this tutorial off my screen now. It doesn't want to go. That's a bad sign. It doesn't want to go. Okay. We'll definitely have to inspect this one and see what the hell is wrong with it. Okay, so already you can see that they're a little bit tougher robots. Okay, let's clear that one out before we trigger the horde, because the horde is going to hurt. Enjoy the better playtest. Thanks, Tycoon. Okay, so here's the horde is a little bit tougher now. More enemies, and they're probably tougher. Now there's a problem that I don't have overheal anymore, so my health isn't regenerating. My bullets are also reloading, so... Oh yeah, by the way, I reload my bullets with tricks, so if I do tricks with the gun, I can shoot more. Okay. Okay, so let's improve the movement speed so I can show you what's real speed in this game. Movement speed will let me attack enemies easily just by you know, bashing into them, and I won't have to really charge my speed. Oh yeah, another change in terms of speed. We did remove the boost ability. Like there is a boost ability, but it's just not built in, so you can discover it. You can use it if you equip it, but by default you don't have anymore the boost ability, which is actually quite a big change. I'm really interested to know what your thoughts are on this subject. So yeah, for anybody end up playing it, also people who have played the demo before, I would be really interested to learn what's your opinion of the version now. And not just the demo, but just earlier versions. Okay, so we have some Terragen here, which we can extract, and maybe we can perform a permanent upgrade after that. Also, we have some chests here, which still wasn't enough to heal us, so that we can overheal. We are still working to decrease the skill floor that the game requires. Unfortunately, this might not happen to the extent I would like it to. It's just a more mechanically challenging game, and we'd like it to stay as that to some extent, so maybe we won't be able to... that was so close. Maybe we won't be able to make it that much user-friendly in the beginning. But we are working hard to improve that. So yeah, any thoughts on that, I'd gladly take. Okay, so there's another thing. If you purchase an upgrade that you already have, you can upgrade it. So now I have 2 air jumps, which is great. And now we have this... Oh yeah, here's the screen. That's the interaction point. What do we need? I think we can go with a health extractor, or maybe the max health. I think I'm gonna go with a health extractor, but how many items I have? Oh, I already have a lot. So maybe I'm just gonna have maybe the microtech extractor. Oh, I don't have the funds for it actually. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have to go back down, gather some funds, hopefully, and come back for the upgrade if I have the time. Or maybe just do this one. I'm just gonna do this one. Oh, come on, it's health. Well, anyway, it's cheaper. So there's a... Okay, I was reading the chat. There's some discussion in the chat. So, Kari Jordan says, wasn't expecting the process of getting new weapons to be so methodical. So I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that. But hopefully it's a good thing. Probably it's not. Now Laserhead says, the less and more intuitive controls, the better. Like not having a reload button on the gun, but regaining ammo with tricks. It's a great idea. Well, if you regain the ammo only with tricks, we're locking the game too much to the movement system, something we decided not to do as much as we did before. So this is one of the major design philosophy changes that we've had since the demo. We wanted to shift the game focus and mostly the difficulty focus, not just the game. The difficulty focus from the movement system towards the enemies, stats, upgrades, improvements, etc. So you still have the urge to go fast. So if you figure out how to go faster, that's great. It's definitely going to make things easier for you because you're going to charge the Onslaught level less, and then you're going to be able to travel more and complete more of the game without having to worry too much about health and damage, etc. But if you don't do that, you can just compensate with other things. So what do? We can do reconstructive transcode, which is going to increase our health every time we travel between nodes, or item research. I'm just gonna go with... Actually, I'm gonna go with encrypted transfer, which reduces the Onslaught level when traveling, because right now our Onslaught level is quite high and we want it to be as low as possible. So that's what we're gonna do. Oh yeah, so George, who is one of our developers, just entered the chat, says the prices increased with the Onslaught level, which was, come on, something like Mitko, you forgot to announce the prices. Yes, so the prices do increase with the Onslaught level. Basically, the higher the difficulty is, the more expensive things become. So you need to be keeping this in mind when playing. So now the enemies become really tough, and what's more useful here is to just bash them. This inflicts way more damage and also kind of prevents them from attacking you if you're just moving too fast towards them. So this is going to save you some time and bullets. So if you combine the movement mechanic and the speed with your attack, it should work a little bit better for you. Now this one is just impossible to do with the movement attack because it was so well hidden, but still. Okay, so let's go over there before going to the bunker, because I saw a tough enemy there and I didn't want to deal with it. Oh, there's a tougher one here. Okay, so just quickly scavenging. Okay, let's go. Didn't want to fight with this one, and it's okay. You can definitely skip fights if you don't have to do them. Hey Milk, welcome. So I think from now on we're gonna be focusing on speed, so I'm just gonna increase the movement speed here, bash this chest, get some useful things. Bam, get out of here fast, because yeah, this one is ready to just kill me. And now we need to find the transcoding protocol and the ending portal. So let's go and try to do it as quickly as possible so we can do another run with the other loadout, which is the homing attack. And I want to show you the homing attack as well, because one of the changes here is that the game no longer uses the tricks to attack like before. We have these two different loadouts. So the first one is the gun that you're seeing, and another one is, oh yeah, you can cheese this because I have 3 jumps. But yeah, the second one is a homing attack, which really resembles the trick attack, but it's a little bit more intuitive to use. It's way more intuitive to use, and I'd say it's a little bit more polished, but it also is a little bit different than what it was before. So you're gonna see what I'm talking about in a minute when I come back and try to play the game with the other loadout. Okay, so I'm getting my butt kicked real hard. Now that we have a higher Onslaught level, things are becoming really challenging. But I'm also powerful, so I can just bash through the robots like this and not give a damn. Okay, so I'm not gonna go there. Yep, I can see the protocol. So, spoiler alert, I might not be able to do this run, because the difficulty is just too high right now for me. And I cannot compete with this curve. Oh yeah, okay, so I'm definitely gonna get it. Let's just try to stay alive for as long as possible. Now the blink ability, which lets you escape, is very useful in such situations. Oh, but I wasn't quick enough, so I got it. Hey Odastro, welcome. So let's go with the homing attack this time. And I'm just gonna try to play a lot faster so I can give you an idea of how the game plays. And with that, we are going to conclude the stream. So if you have any questions about the game and about the future development, I think this is the right moment to discuss them while I'm playing the last bit of the game. So I just got back here. Now because I know the level layout, I know where useful things are in the game. So I'm just gonna go up these rails. Go here. And so this is the homing attack. It allows me to just target enemies, and I don't need to be jumping in the air like before. I don't need to be performing tricks. I don't need the space for the tricks. I just need to be close enough to the target. And if I don't kill the target, I'm just gonna bounce off the target. But if I kill it, I'm gonna go through it. So this is the mechanic we're going for. So here, I just bounced off. But for this chest, if I attack it, I'm gonna go through it. And this is the loadout that we consider a little bit more pro-friendly, so you deal a lot more damage, but you are exposed to more danger because you have to go close to the enemies. Can we get a paper original hoverboard skin? I guess. That would be cool. As a homage to Lifeslide, we were thinking of adding an Easter egg, which is something we might be able to do after all. But maybe incorporate a challenge in Overrider where you trigger a device and it dispenses a paper plane and you have to chase it down. Oh, so something just broke and I cannot collect the... For some reason I cannot collect the health, and it probably also... yeah, it probably also doesn't work the next time around. I'm talking about the passive healing system, which probably needs some more work and debugging. It's okay, I don't need passive healing. And this is what I was talking about the music. You can hear it just cut off and then just resume. It's a little bit distracting and annoying. We are working to fix this as well. Can you add weapons to your board to make the homing attack more powerful and visually interesting, like a drill or hammer? Well, there aren't currently weapons per se in terms of visual language. Like you don't have a hammer or a screwdriver or something like this, but there are abilities which do just that. For example, we have the Sonic Boom ability, which when equipped is going to install a little bumper in front of the board, and this is going to generate a bunch of arrow effects. So when you move quickly, you deal way more damage with movement. So there are abilities that are targeting movement, there are abilities that are targeting tricks. There's things all over the place. There's a lot of abilities already in the game and in the playtest, but there are more to come. The good thing in Overrider is that we have a very nice ability system, and we are very easily capable of producing a lot of abilities for a very short amount of time. Okay, so let's get this race over with and get the transcoding protocol. We're also aiming to make these core challenges a little bit easier. So for example, this one has a little bit bigger difficulty level to execute, but you will have to do it in order to unlock the protocol if everything generates like this. So what our plans is, even during this playtest, is to reduce this skill floor that we have set for most players. And we'll still have difficult sections, but they will be more like optional. Oh, and this is the Sonic Boom ability I was talking about. So here, this one, now we have this bumper installed on the board. If I get some speed, now I get these arrows. Now bashing enemies is a lot more destructive. How expensive is this game gonna be when it comes out roughly? It's going to be between $20 or $25 depending on the amount of content and gameplay that we are going to be able to provide. And this is still under question, because as you can see, it still needs more work, and this game has yet to go through Kickstarter and other funding rounds. But if everything goes well, I'm hopeful that we'll be able to sell it for the upper amount. But at the same time, the game is going to offer the best possible experience. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. We need more navigation arrows in the world. Okay, like this is one of the things that we're very open to feedback for. So in terms of navigation, it seems like we're not super good with it. Maybe if you guys keep telling us, you know, your opinion about it, and just tell us what ideas, what is unclear for you, what you would wish to know in terms of information in the world. We'll think about incorporating fixes for that, and hopefully at the end it's just going to be a lot more clear for everybody. Because yeah, the game does suffer from navigational issues. It's easy to get a little bit lost, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You can see that the homing attack, by the way, is way more powerful. Oh wow, I messed up big time. So I'm very... I can kill enemies a lot faster than I can with the gun. Some of these time trials seem a bit obscure. Yeah, that's something we are trying to remove from the game. So if we can have less time trials, then the better. Because actually the entire game is time trial at this point. Because you have the Onslaught that's increasing and you have to go fast. So yeah, we don't need to have all these high skill floor trials that we already have. So we're working to introduce a little bit leaner challenges. Okay, so let's think about my setup. I have a critical chance ability. I have the Sonic Boom ability, which incentivizes fast movement. And I have Healing Extractor. I don't think these abilities really give me a lot to work with. Like, probably if I had more in terms of the critical chance, but the speed ability, the idea here is that you deal more damage with a single blow, so ideally I would be able to one-shot enemies, so I don't need crit for that. And this will essentially reduce my me having to attack enemies multiple times, because ideally I would deal less blows to enemies. Sorry about that. My voice is cracking for some reason. Okay, so I have a lot of microtech and I really need to spend it on something. Okay, so this is interesting. I can get the... now I have the grapple hook. So the grapple hook is an active ability. You get it from these kinds of containers. It's a little bit more expensive than a usual passive ability like this. Oh, Sonic Boom level 2. This is great. I can use it, and now I should be able to deal even more damage with a single blow. Now I saw the location of the teleporter of the transcoding protocol, so I can go and get it. I don't know why I keep calling the transcoder a teleporter today. It's just the way it is. Okay, so here it is. Now this is a good combination. Oh wow, I just something broke really badly. But yeah, this is a good combination. I have the Sonic Boom ability along with the Graph Hook ability. And the Graph Hook will pull me towards the enemies at a high speed, so I can use my Sonic Boom ability. So this is a good item synergy. And that's why what I'm talking about. We are aiming to introduce more item synergies like that for the players to find. And this essentially introduces new ways of playing. Okay, so let's catch this guy. Oh, I didn't... Yeah, okay, I got him. I like how he was trying to jump away from me using the rocks. Now you can see how much damage I inflict just using the Sonic Boom ability and the grapple hook. Okay, so here we have Destructive Cold, which increases the critical hit damage. Probably not going for a critical hit build. I'm just going to increase my attack damage once. We also do need more health. Now you can see that using the Graph Hook and the Sonic Boom, I can one-shot these weaker enemies, which is great. This one I didn't one-shot because I was moving a little bit slower. Okay, so this is the end of the level here. You can't see it, but there's like a faint holographic wall. Let's go out of the level. Now climbing up is still a little bit cumbersome. We do have the... Wow, okay, that was intense. We do have the blink ability, which kind of increases the speed upwards, but then it decreases it, so you can't use it like a boost. But you can use it to close off the distance between you and an enemy, which is really useful. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to make it past these guys, let alone the horde boss, because I have so little health already. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the expert mode. You deal more damage, but it requires a lot more skill. And it really really depends on your loadout as well, because I think this time around I found a little bit weaker items. Although I do have the health extractor, but it's just my luck that I couldn't extract any health. Oh, I just extracted 1 health from an enemy, which is great. Okay, let's go for the boss fight. And the music stops. Classic. Okay, so here's the cool thing. I could just two-shot this guy just by hitting him twice, and this is really great. So I didn't have to worry about too much fighting these guys. I need to worry about these two. And I already got hit and hit twice, and we're done. Okay, well, I think this is going to be it for now. I'm just gonna play the game one more just for final thoughts. Yeah, this is what we're dealing with so far. There are more changes to come. Obviously, we are working out a lot more design aspects. We also fixed some camera problems today, because it was doing some strange stuff. And hopefully this is going to make you feel a little bit better in the game. Oh yeah, you can attack these flying robots with the homing attack, which is great. Further in the game there's gonna be puzzles where you will just attack robots in air and you can reach places if you have the homing attack as well. So yeah, this is what we have so far. I'm really curious to know your thoughts on the game, on the whole progress, and I would love to get some discussion started in Discord. So if you think you like this, and if you haven't yet, just drop us a wish list on Steam. That'd be really appreciated. Hopefully early next year we're going to be launching our Kickstarter campaign, and this is actually what this playtest is about. We are trying to get as much information as possible about our design approach, and we are trying to make the best possible demo for the Kickstarter campaign, because if people don't enjoy the game, they're not gonna give us money and this is what we want. So yeah, this is where we are right now. We're trying to build the best possible experience without it being perfect. Obviously there's going to be flaws, there's going to be the high skill ceiling, but whatever we can iron out, because there's like a lot of small issues that are plaguing the entire experience, whatever we can iron out, I would like us to do so before we can proceed with the main game. Okay, so guys, thank you so much for watching. That will be it for this stream, and I will see you next time, which is, I don't know when, but there's gonna be a next time for sure. So stay safe, and I'm gonna see you soon, hopefully.